Hey, folks, hope you're all doing well. This is John on the scene. Of course, I don't know who else you'd expect because I'm the only one running this channel, for better or for worse. And I'm just doing an audio recording today. Not a whole lot to this, actually. Just kind of something new I decided to do to mix things up a bit from my usual content. And maybe just to help, clear my mind and stuff, because, a lot of the content I make is, it's pretty crazy, and a lot of work goes into it. That's the big thing. I'm kind of still new to content creation, especially comedy content, so this is all, it's all a learning curve, but man, I gotta say, I am having fun with it. It's really a blast to, explore this crazy realm of what I call chaotic comedy, which is, I'm new to it, but I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's just great to be able to just go, honestly, hog wild, pretty much. The category of comedy that I've always been most amused by is the comedy that's just incredibly chaotic, where, I don't really want to say, nothing makes sense in it, but it's so crazy, where, you have these characters that are just going nuts, buck wild, just losing it, and yet there's, I don't want to make it out to be there's no sense in it, because I think there has to be some sense in it in order for us to laugh at it, because we don't laugh at things that don't make any sense at all. That there has to be an element in it that it's an element of surprise, which strikes us as being, something which could happen in some strange, crazy way. It's really, I think it goes right to the root of the, satire and parody. Those art forms, because I do think they are art forms, they take quite a bit of expertise to do. They draw a lot on exaggeration, and what's exaggeration? Well, it's the ability to really kind of tap in to the essence of what's funny in a real life scenario. So, in order to kind of draw that out, you have to make it look kind of crazy, or I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but there's a whole system to it, and a whole logic, which I think is very much in our subconscious. And not to say we can't explain it. I think those who really have mastered that art can explain it. But it's really fun to do. And I think the big thing for me is that it's very creative. It really kind of helps you to tap into that inner creative person in you. That it's in all of us. We all need to create things in different forms, not all of us create in the same way, but we all need to create, we all need to give birth to new ideas and new things. But so it's cool, it's fun to just check all that stuff out and just see what I can do too. That's the other cool thing about this whole process. It's I'm learning all these new techniques, I suppose, and as I create more videos, I'm gradually picking up on all these subtleties of the art of the comedy I make. It really kind of makes me flash onto the the comedy that I've watched in the past, and I think, oh yeah, that's what made that funny. It's really cool, actually, to kind of think about, the things you've laughed at in the past, like the shows and the movies and the games or whatever, any kind of media or any real life scenario, right? Just, you think about the things that you really found utterly hilarious. And, you think to yourself, well, why did I laugh so hard at that? What did I find so funny about it? And that's not always an easy question to answer. Because it's it can be so subtle, and it's really hard to kind of figure out why you laughed at something so subtle. You could laugh at a really awkward silence, and you might understand why you laughed at that, but it still just comes across as so funny. And I think, the big thing for me is trying to replicate that experience, trying to replicate that subtle art, and trying to make it so that people laugh, and they might not understand why they're laughing, but they're laughing anyway. It's quite a magical thing, honestly, to make people laugh for a reason that they don't even know. And I really do think it is a magic, because in a special way it kind of transcends the scientific realm, like what we can explain. It hits so close to the subconscious, the neurology and psychology. That's the big word I'm looking for. Man, all that stuff can be so abstract. I mean, heck, talk to any neurologist or any person who deals with the science of the mind, or I even hesitate to call it a science, because it's so it just seems to transcend the realm of things which can be dictated to a law. We can't write a diagram out for it. It's very difficult to explain what goes on in the mind. And I think all that has to do with, all that works in to the realm of comedy and the realm of laughter. It's all so spontaneous. A lot of times you make people laugh the hardest when you're not even trying, because people can pick up on that. People can pick up when you're trying to make them laugh. And, usually that will not make them laugh very hard, because it's like they just detect that you're trying too hard. So that's the other hard thing about this whole thing for me too, is but it's also kind of fun. I mean, it's not just hard, it's also kind of fun to think about the ways, don't try so hard, do your best to just have fun, be crazy, and just the laughter will just come as a result of that. So I think a big thing that I'm trying to do with my comedy is just make it for the sake of having fun, and then the laughter will follow. It's it's gotta be spontaneous. If it's not spontaneous, if it doesn't come from your pure desire to have fun with it and just be crazy, let loose, then it's not gonna make people laugh, because it's not genuine. It doesn't feel genuine. That's a big thing of it for me. So, yeah, those are kind of the the bullet points in this whole new adventure. And also just, having fun, but also kind of learning on what you can improve, because you can always improve. And there's no point in doing it if you don't see ways that you can improve down the line. It's it would be hard to continue having fun with it if you weren't always trying to improve what you're doing. So, also keeping that in mind too. It's not just a hobby necessarily. It's a technique. It's an art form. It's very much, a thing that requires a lot of finesse, I guess, and just a lot of skill. So, those are all things that I'm trying to kind of wrap my head around and work through. So, I guess that's kind of the basics. I guess I'm just kind of rambling now, but that's kind of the point of this whole recording. Another thing, speaking of the journey to improve my content and stuff, and looking at my channel and whatnot, the one thing that I do think that I need on my channel is more personal touch, which is kind of funny to say, because this is a channel where it's I'm playing every single character, I'm doing everything. So it's kind of funny to say that it needs a more personal touch. But, I say that more because I think that I do need to be kind of more personable, maybe, so that there's a connection between the viewer and the content creator established. I do think that is very important, and it is something I'm still trying to work on. It's something that I hear from every creator who's putting out stuff for an audience. You gotta have kind of that, I guess personal isn't the right word. The word I'm looking for is personable. Showing that you're an actual person who's making this stuff, and they're not a content creation machine. Behind that whole content creation process, there's a real person with, a lot of joys, struggles, pain, happiness, all the kind of things that make a person a person. People want to see that. It kind of reminds me of everyone knows Tom Scott on YouTube, the guy in the red shirt who makes all this. He goes around showing off these like really niche places. I just love that guy. But anyway, he put out a video recently where he was talking about how the clap. You might have all seen how content creators will have a little clap at the start of their videos, which they keep in their recording instead of cutting it out. And, one reason they do that is to, like, sync the audio in the video at the start. But why do they keep that in the finished product? Well, Tom Scott was explaining that the reason they do that is, or at least the reason he does it, he didn't want to, speak for everyone, but the reason he did it was for that personable connection with his audience, so that people can see kind of like part of the nitty-gritty process that was involved to make this video. And they can kind of like see that, like, the human side of the content creator. And that does something special for the heart-to-heart connection. It's like the audience sees some of the rough elements of the production. And I think it really helps them to, like, see, okay, these content creators, they're big, everyone loves them, like, they're super popular, they get a ton of traction. But, despite all that, they're not superhuman. It's like they're people just like me. And that does a lot to build trust in the content creator. Because people don't want to, you watch content to be entertained by it, of course. But I think subconsciously, you also want to watch content that comes from a person that you feel wants a connection, wants to be personable and kind of relatable. So I don't know why did I bring that up? I guess the reason I brought that up was kind of like to show that, even this, I guess, even this recording, hey, I'm just rambling on, I'm making blunders, I'm going, what am I talking about? Just it's a really rough recording. I'll probably just edit it slightly, but I am putting this out there to kind of help me with that whole personable aspect. So we will see how that goes. I don't know if I'll listen to this later on, but it gives a nice, at any rate, it gives a nice mix up from the content I usually make. Because, the content I do make, it's very heavily edited. Hours and hours go into editing the stuff I make. So, I should hope that my viewers appreciate the effort that goes into it, but it can kind of come off as, like, being too mechanical, for lack of a better term. Kind of cold and, like, too processed. I think that's a good word for it. To kind of mix things up, I'm putting out a recording that's very heavily unprocessed, very raw, I suppose. What else should I say? I hope you're all doing well. Heck, a lot of crazy times these days, with the whole, just a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world. And I know it affects people. Heck, I know it affects me. In my personal life, I know it affects everyone else too. So I just hope everyone is coping well with all the craziness. Maybe it's nothing new for a lot of folks, but we never truly get used to pain, do we? Maybe to some degree we do, but it's always something that hurts, right? I know that everyone out there has their own struggles, so I just hope everyone's doing okay. What else should I say? I don't know. I think I'll stop there for now. Well, thank you to whoever listens to this. Heck, I don't know who will, but at any rate, it's a good kind of, dare I say, therapeutic thing to ramble like this. Yeah, I mean, heck, I know I enjoy listening to people ramble sometimes, so heck, maybe this will do the same thing for some other people. Anyway, you all stay awesome. Keep on doing what you do best. And yeah, just keep up the good work. And don't let anyone discourage you from your dreams. Just keep pushing on. I want to say pound the pavement, but that kind of has more grueling connotations than I want to convey. But yeah, you all just stay cool. And please do keep checking out my content. I really do enjoy making it, and I don't know if anyone could enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy making it, but maybe, just maybe, you will. So, okay, guys. I'd super appreciate it if you subscribed and just kind of engaged. That would be super cool. And hey, if you want me to check out your content too, I'd be super happy to do that. Yeah, I think that's about it for me. So, you all take care. And I will see you whenever I see you. I think I'll make this a weekly thing. Maybe once a week. We'll see how things go. Okay, take it easy, you all. It's been a pleasure, as always. Take care.